welcome back, and hello to all of you new subscribers. Or, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe below. Today's video is about 2 of the 3 artist trading cards you see. We'll be doing the blue and the red one. The green one was already made. Enjoy, and thank you for watching. So here I have out all my scrappy pieces that I had planned on using. Putting them on the little tray because I love that little tray. It's so nice to have there, and it holds my stuff and then it doesn't fall off onto the floor. That's really the main reason. So I started out, this sheet of paper actually was something that P had colored slightly. I'm not sure exactly with what. And I came in with the Lindsay's glitter spray stuff and started with the yellow, did some brown, and now you'll see me bringing in some of the red. And there you see it all laid out. I just went through and dabbed with a little felt piece that I have. I think they're for stamping. I wanted a little bit of splatter there, but not a whole lot. I really wanted things to blend nicely. Now I'm just coming in, something I kind of always do to any of the playing cards. Depending on what I'm doing with the project, that particular one is the darker brown alcohol ink marker. They work really great because on the slick surface it takes it and it works out nicely. Really didn't have a plan to start out with on this, so it was just, you really see me going through the process of figuring out layout. At this point, I knew I wanted to keep some of the middle on that side. I just wasn't sure exactly what yet, or how much of it. And then I was like, oh yeah, I probably should keep the back side with some lighter colors. This chalk paint, got it out of the like 99-cent bin. I didn't want the card to show through in that part because I knew I was going to leave that white, so that way we could sign. These are just offcuts of sample packs, so if you're interested in those, comment below. I'd love to send you one. They're just little mini sample packs of some of our pattern papers. I don't ever throw anything that's, about that size. Anything smaller than that, it just depends. I try to keep everything though. So now I've made the decision that I will be keeping that little area there and accenting with the deco color marker. One thing to keep in mind with the deco marker when you're using it on playing cards or anything slick surface, you're going to have to seal it, otherwise it will rub off. Always adding a little PM to things. You can see over there off to the left that this is from the sample set of the Batik Sepia Shadows pattern papers. If you want to buy the full set, they are available on our website. You can see I just took the alcohol ink marker and outlined, did a little bit of shading. That worked out really nice. I had actually not planned for that to hit exactly where it did, but happy accidents. So initially I wasn't sure how this part was going to turn out, if just highlighting the little kind of, there's two mermaid people and kind of a little cherub in the middle there. But it was starting to look pretty good, even with just kind of the fleshy color. So I came back in and added even a little bit more color. Now this piece right here that you see is some of our what we call our rusty metal washers. There's a whole video on how we create those. Those particular ones there haven't been Mod Podged yet, so they're really shiny, and because of the alcohol ink that is used for them, they do kind of dull out once you start to Mod Podge them. They're not quite as shiny. And then we emboss them. That's how it has the texture. There, I'm just coming in with the blendable markers as I typically do with any torn edges. If I don't want them to be stark white, I just come in with those blendable markers. They work wonderful. So one of the cool things about using the alcohol ink markers on these slick surfaces is, so you can see I sort of blobbed over the mermaid on the left on his face. So here in a little bit I'll come back with the skin colored, salmon colored one again and just cleaned it right up. Just adding a little depth again with the alcohol ink marker, that dark brown. I liked how the double ring and then the kind of floating pieces of the center circle parts. Thought the three smaller along with the one large ring was a nice balance. Came in with a little bit of the orange alcohol ink marker there at the bottom just to brighten that little piece up, bring in some of the orange. I love these pointed Q-tips. I think they come in the makeup section, but they are wonderful for this type of work because they just get right there into it, and I keep them around for a while. They're a great little tool. That's one of the custom-made stamps that P makes, and there's, again, a whole video about all of that. She makes them out of kneaded erasers, and we use them all the time. In fact, most of our pattern papers are made either with hand-drawn sketches or the custom, or both, the custom made stamps. It's coming in, blending. And that is the one, the red one. Now starting with the blue one. This particular paper is from the Mountain Sunrise set, and I decided to just use one almost full sheet there on the back. It slid on me, so I had that little piece at the bottom, which turned out pretty good because then I could add our little PM logo there. And that is also some of the original paper from the Sunrise Journal that we did. So there's kind of a mix, both of the digital papers along with original watercolor crystal dyed papers. Coming in with the alcohol ink marker there, again just to get rid of the white edge, just in case it does show through, and in fact on this one it does. I purposefully kept that border. Just adding more shadowing around the logo there just to make it pop. So I wanted to keep this one a little lighter and brighter, so I ended up using, there's the yellow there. I wanted that to be a focal point. That is also, all of these papers that you see right now are from the Mountain Run Sunrise set. In fact, that was actually an offcut from our journal, and I had to kind of clean up the back side of it to get it stick down nice and smoothly. Bringing in the deco marker again. Just a nice highlight. And I figured it was probably best just to come in, whole line there, even though some of it was getting covered up. Because even though I had a plan of where it was going to go, it ended up even sliding a little bit differently than when I first glued it down, and then I was like, oh, I really want the blue there, so ripped that off and brought it back down. Just the light blue alcohol ink marker. Blendable right there on the edges. Bringing in a little bit of purple because I lost a bit more than I wanted to when I tore the piece. Even coming in with the colored pencil, because the blendable markers, it's really cool, is even on the blend, just the blender, the clear, it will blend the colored pencil. So that's another, that's the top part of the Mountain Sunrise Journal, the piece that I had torn. Probably be seeing that in a lot of stuff because there's still a lot of it left. Making sure I have some repetition. That piece is one of the digitals, just a little tiny piece left over. Then more of the original paper. One of the cool things about the white craft paper that we use, and I say this all the time, is the way that it tears. It's really nifty because it blends in so nicely And it's funny, so I had that there with the straight edge to the one side, and then all of a sudden at the last minute I was like, I'm turning that because I want it on the inside there. It lined up nicely with the border because you can see I left the two sides that I had colored with the alcohol ink. Now, of course, it wouldn't be something of mine if I wasn't bringing in the Coloro watercolors to add a little bit of gold gilding along the torn edges for that cracked awesomeness. And it was sort of an accident, but it was, again, one of those happy accidents. I came back a little bit too soon before it had dried and rubbed my hand across it. So then I had more, it just was shiny kind of all over. So you'll see me come back here in a minute. Yep, they're spreading it a little bit more. Then I come back in and highlight it. One of my main struggles with doing these layered pieces, and I said it in the Mountain Sunrise Journal, is making sure that you don't glue something down until you are absolutely ready. And so there it was like, okay, now it's all the pieces are there, everything's layered nicely. This is a piece from the Mountain Sunrise Journal. You can see the curve there around the sun on the back of the cover. Like I said, I don't throw anything away. So, and it was not quite the right colors for this. It wasn't bringing in more of that periwinkle. So I'm simply coming in with the Posca marker with the white. You could do something like this with acrylic paints. Would work very similarly. That's one of the little chalk marker. And again, I think very similar to acrylic paint. And blending it out so I can get it closer to match up, which I thought turned out pretty nice. And then of course bringing in a little bit of the gold as well. So now I have not only a nice layering, there is actual texture to this artist trading card. There was a little bit of a drop of the gold over there, so I just came back in and did a little patchwork with the blending marker. Those things are amazing. And there we have it. Now it's Mod Podge time. And I know a lot of people don't love the Mod Podge and think that it doesn't dry and those sorts of things. I actually find that it dries very quickly. Now, for it to actually permanently set, yes, it does take some time. But within 24 hours, if you simply rub either Vaseline, or we use the Tim Holtz Distress Glaze, that works wonderfully. And a little jar of that we've had forever, because a little bit goes a long way. You simply have to just get enough on the surface that it helps keep the sticky from sticking until it fully sets. But we Mod Podge everything. And there you have it. There are all three, and they will be off to Germany to their new home. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. And don't forget to ring the little bell. We have more videos coming. Thank you.